Trinidad sweet like sugar.
You've probably been told not to travel to Trinidad and Tobago, especially as a solo female traveler. But from the very moment I stepped foot in Trinidad to my very sad goodbyes with my new friends who became family, Trinidad and Tobago surprised me in the best way possible. It was the people, the culture, the food, the hospitality,
and they give us for free.
The mixed ethnicity.
My mom is African, but my father is Indian.
The music. And the infrastructure. And if that doesn't excite you yet, remember, it is a Caribbean island in its own right, which means incredible views, awesome beaches, a lot of nature and multiple hiking trails. And if you're still not sold yet, well, then the beautiful twin island of Tobago is just a ferry ride away, waiting to steal your heart. This is the Trinidad and Tobago I fell in love with. Trinidad and Tobago is an independent country in the Caribbean region in North America, consisting of the twin islands of Trinidad and Tobago. There's really no other way of saying it. It's Trinidad and Tobago. The main currency in Trinidad and Tobago is the TT dollar, Trinidad and Tobago dollar. So yes, I'll be saying the words Trinidad and Tobago very many times. Get used to it. It is about 6 TT dollars to $1 US, and it is one of the few countries in the East Caribbean that do not use the East Caribbean dollar. The capital city of Trinidad and Tobago as a country is Port of Spain, and for you to go to Tobago you'll have to use either a ferry or a plane, and you go to the main city, which is the cultural center of Tobago, called Scarborough.
It's Henry Street, and then I'm going to go down Charlotte Street, which is now called Chinatown.
We are now in Port of Spain, the city. So it's called Port of Spain because I think it was named that by the Spanish when they colonized, but the British came, they changed the name. And the town itself, the city itself, it's a city. It's not that massive, and I am walking you down the Chinatown, as you can see behind me. But it's really, the street is called like Charlotte Street if you're looking for it with the locals. It was just renamed recently. So it's mostly a business area, so we're gonna see most of that. Old Parliament building. The skyscraper behind me, it's a weird building for Parliament for sure. Old Parliament. And this is a waterfront. So it's basically some nice place to chill, relax. You can see the breeze because it's very hot. So the breeze from the sea is quite nice. So yes, nice place to actually take a walk. This is Port of Spain.
The main economy driver for Trinidad is industrialization. It's not really known for tourism, but for Tobago, it is tourism. Trinidad has a very organized public transport system which consists of maxi taxis, which are just small mini buses, and then buses which have coolers in them because of the heat, which is really nice. They have long distance buses, and all these will have different colors based on the parish and the regions they serve, so you won't actually get lost.
You did use a maxi taxi alone? That was exciting. These people are so organized. They actually are calling numbers.
We are these numbers waiting our turn.
That one. So now it's 11 to 20. It's gonna be then 21 to 30, and then us. So organized for bus service. I love it.
And then you see the elderly people. They don't play. free.
Wow.
And if you want to go to the south, to San Fernando, you will be able to catch a water taxi that is actually used by people to commute daily between the city of Port of Spain and the south. And I would say, if you've got some time, take the ferry and experience it at least once while you're in Trinidad.
So we're now in the water taxi.
And I'm the captain.
No, he's not. He wishes he was. So one thing I don't like is that we can't go outside, and you know me, I love water, so I would have liked to go outside, but it's okay. We sit here in the ocean for about 50 to 1 hour, 50 minutes to 1 hour, and it was only $30 we paid, right?
Yep.
$30 TT dollars per person, and a lot of people here are actually using it as a commute to and from work. So
It's
they
actually-
live, yeah.
It's actually more convenient because you have to fight up with traffic on the road.
And you know, I just met one of the commuters, the lovely Rupa Sunar.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful name. So she actually commutes every day to go to work.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to commute with a water taxi instead of being in traffic all day?
I think it's a breeze compared to being stuck in traffic and not having access to anything exciting. At least you meet somebody new every day who sits next to you.
Yeah.
You're relaxed, you're in AC, you don't have to drive. So it's really nice that way too. And it's like the typical island girl stereotype. I take a boat to and from work every day. So it's nice.
As I said in the beginning, there are some concerns about safety in Trinidad, and there are a lot of government advisories against traveling to Trinidad. So I'll just say that as a solo female traveler, I did not experience any safety concerns in Trinidad or in Tobago. I used public transport on my own. I also went on a solo trip to Tobago for a few days using the ferry. I used maxi taxis and buses, and I didn't experience any safety concerns, and in fact I hitchhiked once in Tobago. That being said, my advice as a solo female traveler would be to always follow your gut, do some research about neighborhoods that you should avoid in any area of travel, not just Trinidad, and no matter what, always safety first. And now let's talk about culture. One of the surprising facts that I came to find that was so interesting in Trinidad is their mixed ethnicity. I wasn't sure what to find. I had read about it a little bit, but once you go there, that's the only time you get to experience it. Trinidad has created a very unique culture based on all the origins of the people. They are mixed with the Amerindians, who are the natives pre-colonialism. There are Europeans who came during the exploration age, the battle of territories, the colonial era. There are the Africans who were brought through slave trade mostly, and then after slave trade ended, there was a really huge migration of East Indians who were brought as indentured laborers.
Trinidad has this mixed pot of everybody.
Yes,
Everybody's like a quarter something or a 3/4 something. So what are you?
Oh my God.
It's okay to say all the AIDS and the...
Yeah, we're all mixed people. We're such a mixed people.
Yeah.
But for me, what I've heard from my mom and from my family,
Yeah.
we are mixed with African and Native Indian. Because there are a lot of Native people in Trinidad and a little bit East Indian as well.
Yeah.
Mixed up in there, probably with some Irish. So I've heard.
Some Irish.
Yeah, it's not a
It's
mix
in
up, but
there, yeah.
the two dominant
Yeah.
is African and Carib Indian.
Oh,
yeah, Native
wow.
Indian, yeah.
People will even tell you, what's her ethnicity? What would you say she comes from? And I'm guessing you'll say African, Indian. Tell us.
Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting that you asked that question
Yeah.
because a lot of people, when they look at my family,
Yeah.
they want to know, first things first is my name,
Yeah.
Alicia Chagasa.
Yeah.
Right? So the first thing is the name, because when you hear Chagasa, you think India.
Yeah.
So people expect to see somebody Indian,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they will look at me like, okay. And I always have to explain that my mom is African, but my father is Indian. So my father is Chagasa.
Yeah.
And my grandmother is fully Indian from India.
It's just amazing to see that. Is it different growing up like a mix of culture, because there's African culture and Indian culture, which are very different.
But it is such a wonderful thing to experience. All the different ethnicities, everybody just doing everything.
Yeah.
Is because you would find there are Indians, but there's Hindus. They will be doing calypso and soap also. You know, the one would expect that they might only do chutney. No, not here.
They'll do
Everybody
everything.
does everything in Trinidad and Tobago.
And it just makes Trinidad and Tobago even more lovely because of that inclusiveness and of everything musically and also ethnically. And so thank you for having me.
You're most welcome.
You cannot talk about Trinidad and Tobago without talking about music. Music is such a huge part of Trinidad, such that when you walk down the street, you will hear all types of music all the time.
Go from soca
There are different types of music, all of them from these different ethnicities and cultures. Food. Let's talk about food. Food is such a central bit of Trinidadian culture. You'll not go 2 minutes before you find a food cart or a restaurant selling you something delicious. A lot of the food has Indian and African influences, but I say that they have now made something that is just purely Trinidadian. I am telling you, if you've not prepared your palate when you're going to Trinidad, please do so right now. And you have to try some of these things. As I said, doubles.
So this is just flour, and then there is like some cereals, I'm not sure what, and cucumber. Of course mine I said no pepper because I'm not in the mood. You're supposed to fold it like this, right?
Yeah.
All of it?
Yeah, let me see. Yeah.
And then bite.
That's Trini street food. How does it taste?
Wow. That's so good.
No, this is a common dish. This is a common
Macaroni pie.
macaroni pie.
Another thing I must mention is what they call Sunday lunch. Sunday lunch is a meal that has thousands and thousands of foods. Okay, I am exaggerating. It has very many types of plates all in one, and you just take a piece of each, and I got the chance of trying it. It was the best.
Wow.
And to walk off the weight you just gain from all the amount of food that you will try in Trinidad, then let me introduce you to some nature, some walking trails, some beaches, and some amazing viewpoints, because Trinidad and Tobago has got it all.
I think it's gonna rain.
Maybe.
It's so beautiful, right? With the wind and the breeze, the trees. It's amazing. Wow. So no matter what your pace is, just make sure you get to the top, and that's your reward. We are coming to it now. You can see it? I'm planning it. And this is a sign that we've actually made it to the top by the flag of Trinidad. We came to this incredible view here on the way to Maracas Beach. This is such a beautiful lookout.
No?
I'm finally in the Caribbean. How did I not know this exists? I feel like a child right now, honestly. This is the first time I've seen a cocoa in my life. So you just eat the seeds?
You suck
You
it.
suck it. And the seeds is what they just make chocolate with.
So you cannot eat it like this?
No, you have to.
suck it.
Yeah, you
Oh,
You
do.
don't buy
okay.
the seed. You
Alright.
don't buy the seed.
You don't buy the seed
Okay.
Otherwise you will
So
get
like
to
this.
to get the sweetness. So the seeds now is what they will put to sun.
This here was the original lookout. The other one they just made it recently. They kind of found a spot and cut up the trees. But yeah, this one is amazing too. But it's a bit overcrowded, so I prefer the other one. But here you can get more stuff because more people have established themselves here.
So you're liking Maracas? And you
I
haven't
am
been.
loving it, and I've not even been to the beach yet, and I'm having the time of my life. Can you tell? Caribbean, baby! Woo! So when it's a big one, you go in like this. So it doesn't tumble you.
And when you've had enough of Trinidad, if you can, well, let's say when you can finally pull yourself away from Trinidad, hop on the ferry and let's go to Tobago, another island that is complete in its own way, but together with Trinidad forms a formidable country.
You need to come and visit Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
So nice to meet you all. Welcome to Trinidad. Anytime you want to come. What is son? This is the best country in the world.
Thank you so much for watching my video on Trinidad and Tobago. I hope you fell in love with it the way I did, and I hope it changed your perception of Trinidad and Tobago based on whatever else you've had before. There are more videos coming up going into details about the topics I introduced here, so stay tuned. Click that subscribe button so that you can know when they come. And when I go to the other Caribbean islands, I'm welcoming you to travel with me. Travel with me. Travel with Phil. Bye.